Explainer: why is there a worldwide oil refining crunch? Drivers round the arena are feeling pain on the pump with gasoline expenditures hovering, and charges are surging for heating buildings, electricity generation and industrial production. Prices have been already increased earlier than Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24. But considering that mid-March, gas expenses have surged at the same time as crude expenditures are up only modestly. Much of the motive is a loss of adequate refining capacity to procedure crude into gas and diesel to fulfill excessive global call for. How much can the world refineries produce daily? Overall, there's enough potential to refine approximately 100 million barrels of oil an afternoon, consistent with the International Energy Agency, but approximately 20% of that capacity isn't always usable. Much of that unusable capacity is in Latin America and other places in which there's a loss of investment. That leaves someplace round 8,283 million barrels of oil per day in projected capacity. How many refineries have closed? The refining industry estimates that the sector lost a total of 3.3 million barrels of day-by-day refining capability since the beginning of 2020. About a third of these losses took place inside the United States, with the rest in Russia, China, and Europe. Fuel call for crashed early inside the pandemic whilst lockdowns and faraway work had been sizable. Before that, refining capacity had now not declined in any year for at the least 3 decades. Will refining pick up? Global refining potential is about to make bigger by using 1 million barrel of oil per day consistent with day in 2022 and 1.6 million barrels of oil per day in 2023. How much has refining declined since before the pandemic? In April, 78 million barrels had been processed day by day, down sharply from the pre-pandemic common of 82.1 million barrels of oil per day. The IEA expects refining to rebound throughout the summertime to 81.9 million BPD as Chinese refiners come back online. Where is most refining capacity offline, and why? The United States, China, Russia and Europe are all working refineries at decreased capacity than before the pandemic. U.S. refiners shut nearly a million BPD of ability because 2019 for numerous reasons. Nearly 30% of Russia's refining ability changed into idled in May, resources told. Many Western international locations are rejecting Russian gas. China has the maximum spare refining capability. Subtle product exports are only allowed beneath legitimate quotas, mainly granted to huge state-owned refining organizations and not to smaller impartial organizations that hold much of China's spare capacity. As of Ultimate Week, run charges at China's state-backed refineries averaged round 71.3% and unbiased refineries have been round 65.5%. That was up from in advance within the year, but low by way of historical requirements. What else is contributing to high prices? The fee to carry merchandise on vessels remote places has risen because of high global call for, in addition to sanctions on Russian vessels. In Europe, refineries are restricted by way of high costs for herbal gas, which powers their operations. Some refiners additionally rely on vacuum gasol as an intermediate gasoline. Loss of Russian vacuum gasol has averted shore from restarting certain gasoline-producing devices. WHO is benefiting from the current situation. Refiners, especially those that export a number of gasoline to other nations, such as U.S. refiners. Global fuel shortages have boosted refining margins to historical highs, with the key 321 crack unfold nearing $60 a barrel. That has pushed huge profits for US-based Valero and India-based Reliance Industries India, which refines extra than 5 million BPD, in keeping with the IEA, has been uploading reasonably priced Russian crude for home use and export. It is expected to boost output through 450,000 by using year-end, the IEA mentioned. More refining capacity is set to come online in the Middle East and Asia to fulfill developing demand. Graphic. Refining margins surge global 20 image percent 201,653,660,733,170.png